Starting recording.
Pa, pa,
Now,
pa.
first of all, Happy New Year's for everyone. I'm pretty sure
Happy
it's New Year's
New
for everyone at this point. Yes? 9 hours. Alright.
Mostly, I think.
Mostly.
Yeah.
um,
There's like 1 or 2 time zones left, I think, that are still clicking over.
maybe.
Hawaii, probably?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Um,
Guam.
and I hope everyone enjoys the new stuff. It's been a few weeks that I've been working on these icons for each one of the characters, and the person that made them, she might pop in stream, might not. I don't know. She said that she might pop by. She's a very good artist, as you can see, and I'd like everyone to know, and I also would like her to see how it's been used. But anyways,
You don't want
I'd
that
like to
'cause
say
it's
thank
very
you,
poorly.
yeah, yes, go ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah,
I said I'd like to tell them thank you.
I think you just did.
If she watches
right
it
here.
in the end, but I'll let you all know if she pops in chat or not.
Okay.
And as for the plays, I hope you all enjoy it yourselves. It's and I hope it's to your liking as well. And we start. As for last session, let me start
All
grabbing some
kinds of shit.
ambience while I do this. Last session, our little band of adventurers had reached their goal from the beginning of this journey, which was some excavation site that had been apparently discovered. Even they themselves did not know what awaited them at the end of their journey. But alas, they found themselves upon a strange doorway, one of which they found many different ways to help in opening, resulting in various different performances from each one of the characters. They brought their own ideas and they brought their own music into it to attempt and help discover what it is that these ruins contain within them. Within opening the door, they found a dark chamber, darker than usual, as not even their dark vision could penetrate these shadows. Moving forward, lighting up a flame, one of which seemed to have disturbed the shadows in between, starting a fight between them and some shade entities, of which they came out on top. In very fashionable manner, might I say. And so, here we stand with many different resources having been spent, and maybe some need for rest soon to come. The place is yours. You may do as you wish.
I turn around quickly. Please tell me we have more torches.
Here, I've got a couple still. I'm gonna light one up. Oh, Mr. J, could you give me a little light beacon for my torch?
I could. You're going to light up a torch.
Correct.
You're confirming that action.
Confirm.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're gonna fight again, huh?
Malted? Or Zad?
Yeah, I would let me double check my spell list before I try and say I'm doing something I can't. I'm sure I can't. I'm gonna press the digitation and just torch out the moment he starts trying to light it and say, "Hold on." I'm pretty sure that's what makes those creatures appear.
So what? We go back out the way we came?
I think we can find the way we came.
I'm pretty far in.
How many spells does Patui still have?
Well, if you take a look at this card that I was keeping track of when we were playing Batui last time, He has 2.
Okay, that doesn't help us.
No.
I was reminded of something recently of that he should technically have access to, but I don't know if he has it ready anyway, so it doesn't matter.
This stuff up here is what we determined he had readied.
Okay, well then we couldn't have done it then. Anyway,
And plus, like the amount of distance that I am compared to you guys, like how far in I am, like I have a more difficult path to get out.
All right, I'm gonna yell to Vile. Elf, can you see anything?
From where I'm at, no. Only what's in front of me.
Well, the options are stumble around in the dark or try to retreat.
I think we are to try and group up.
Real
At
quick,
least.
I've been actually thinking. You. I pause for a second, like I'm thinking, and then from the darkness, a puppet voice. Say, Mr. Zad, you were saying before the whole instance with the door that when you studied that gem, that there was some kind of hour time limit that you thought we had.
Zad, are you there?
I'm double checking my notes to make sure I'm not stupid because I don't remember that myself.
I've only written down what you told me, so.
Let's see, I need to start writing down my own words now, apparently.
I'll just continue. Within the midst of the fighting, I kind of lost my direction once the lights went out.
Do we have the prism still? Is it still shining at all?
The prism.
No, I believe I would have left that.
Oof.
Wait, fuck. Which? Oh no, the prism was what we came here with.
Yes. It was shining, and we shined a light on the thing, and we lit torches, and lights got
Right,
brighter.
and then the big ball started glowing after, without me needing to keep shining it on it. So
Yes.
no, then I probably would still have it.
Would you
Would
like
it
to
still
check?
be shining?
Wasn't it glowing like hot? Hold on, now I gotta check mine.
Yes, it was glowing hot. I remember.
It was like when
but it was still it was gripped by a
we were
rag.
able to keep a hold of it. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
or our sleeves or something like that.
Who had?
I think it's still up there.
So we left it behind.
I think we did. If I had to be completely honest about it, I'm pretty sure we just left it there because it started floating on its own kind of stuff.
What? I don't remember that.
Because no matter which way you moved, it would still continue. Either you kept a hold of it the entire time and it's just in your hand, or you left it there.
What you're thinking of is he said that when I didn't need to keep like angling it so that the light
Yeah,
was like refracting up onto the big ball in the statue's
yeah,
hand.
yeah. You're right. You're right. So then you still have it.
Correct.
Okay.
Is it glowing?
At all.
If it is, it's probably going to still be hot now.
Prism itself. Who's holding it? Is it Lila?
That would be me.
Within a rag, of course, so it's not burning.
Slight shine. Just white light. It's not much. But you do see a slight difference.
Well,
And it doesn't... As you pull it out, you do see that the darkness around you, as opposed to when you were holding onto the flames, it doesn't seem to be lashing out towards you. Not as much, at least.
Can we see it from the distance I'm in, or is it still like? Can I see like the glow?
You can see the glow, very faintly. You probably, if you were to look back, you would see a very, very faint glow in the dark.
I see a glow. Is that you guys?
It's me.
I will like to move closer towards the
So
ice.
it made sense to keep. The riddle said that through the light of the prism we would find the Scalebane's might.
This is probably run out, the panda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means those temporary hit points we had are gone, I believe.
The battle has
No.
just died down. So however long that lasts.
I gotta
Temporary
pull up
hit
the Shepherd.
points. The general ruling, DM. Please correct me if you want it run different. But temporary hit points stay until either a long rest or you get hit for them.
Oh god, there
Unless it says
really is.
yeah, unless it says otherwise in the spell, then yes, it would stay.
It doesn't say otherwise. Jesus,
Yeah, then you keep them.
it's pretty sweet.
Oh no, where's my character sheet? Please tell me I've got all that. Okay. Oh.
Well, I've been doing the wrong thing. Fuck. I've been trying to get the bot to play, but I've been using the wrong command because I changed it since. There we go. Come on.
Oh, I was the bot, of course. I got excited.
Oh wow! Ouch.
Hurt his feelings, but aren't you?
Well, in this case, it'd be best to have everyone stick close, and we'll begin moving.
Maybe we should go.
Should we go
back
check
the
on the
way we
old
came
man?
first.
Actually, yes. This is what we were getting at. Mr. Zad, you'd said something about an hour time limit. Were we so concerned about that, given that we simply spent an hour resting? We've long passed that point already, I would believe.
Yeah. Oh yes, because I know what you're talking about, and I'm trying to place it. I believe that was how long we thought it would be until the other devil came back.
And no such thing has happened unless it's waiting outside.
Possibly with friends.
Should we go check on the old man before we venture deeper into this darkness?
We should probably check on the old man. Hopefully not have to fight off whatever's waiting on us. And possibly look into some form of rest before we try to venture into darkness.
Maybe a half rest.
Basically unprepared.
Is that the consensus then?
If we think we have time. Our time limit is not what we thought it was, but there likely still is one.
Nonetheless,
Jay?
we should just go and see if he's alright. Even if we decide not to rest.
Yeah. And if we have to fight something off, I don't think we can go without a rest because we're nearly unprepared as it is with reduction of further potential resources. I'm weary of it as it is, I'm just saying. But regardless, we should go make sure no one's been killed.
And if this place closes, the worst thing is we just move on.
Hopefully
Fair point.
we have figured out the way in. But yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go check on. Follow me if you want.
Yeah,
I will
splitting up is
follow.
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Again,
I
this
need
is
to
just like an in and out check. I don't really care.
Yeah. Going outside.
Oh, the mouth of the cave.
Yeah.
just trying to pull people back off the map area for some reason. I feel like that's important. I don't know why.
No, I thought you were drawing Bender from Futurama.
Oh God, I see it. What has been seen cannot be unseen.
Grab it.
Okay,
Right,
if there's nothing going on, we can just do it verbally.
Yeah.
That's the part where that's the thing.
Okay. Going outside, you see that Kobus and Milo are sitting opposed in each one of a relatively large rock, and Koba seems to be coaching him in some writing techniques. He looks towards you as Milo's still looking down onto his book. Oh, back already. I heard some not very good noises, so wondering what happened?
I'm also wondering what the hell happened in there.
We're not very sure what happened. It was dark, and we got lucky.
Seems to be shadow apparitions attacking us. Drawn to the light, it seems.
Very curious. Have you been able to see anything? What is it like in there?
As dark as it is in here, apparently.
It's even
We-
darker.
We had not ventured rather far in. It just
Right.
wish to confirm your safety.
Yes.
As
Been
well
good.
as the safety of.
He looks at Zed. You seem to be red bitten up. Do you not think it would be wise to take a rest, perhaps?
That we've already checked on what's going on up top. I have a disturbing feeling.
Right. Haven't been up there since I came down here, so I guess it wouldn't hurt. And might help with the taking a rest.
Would you like to scout it out with your little spider friend?
Yeah. Oh, is it a spider? No, it's a bat right now, right?
It's a
Yeah,
bat?
It's a bat. Yeah, it's a bat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
and it's up there waiting for me to get within range that I can connect with it anyway.
Well,
Essentially.
there you go.
So
no,
yes,
the bat's down here in the cave because you
No,
were using it.
I sent him up to the top of the to the top to keep an eye out and warn us.
I
If
recall
it could-
this.
Oh, right.
I forgot I did that, to be honest, until not very long ago. But yeah, so as we get within 100 feet of said bat, I should be able to connect.
All right. Let us go up then.
Before that, I'm gonna ask Milo to help me wedge some rocks in the door that's now open.
Yeah, it's a big door.
Oh, watch some. What? Oh, keep it.
Make sure
I
it
don't know
stays
how
open.
this door opened, and I would prefer it
That's-
stay this way.
That's fair. That's fair.
At least right
I'll
now.
help you.
I think you're the only one that can actually lift anything in this group. I glance over at Vile.
Looks awkwardly at Val. Just, gets up and starts picking up the rug they were sitting on. Help me. Slowly moves the both of you. Slowly move it towards the door. All right. This is probably not going to help very much, but who knows? He just kicks it in further and further, trying to get it wedged in underneath, but there isn't much space in there. Well, should be enough.
Best we can do, I suppose.
All right, up we go. What is the order?
Well,
Not
first,
somebody-
I will go.
how far down? Wait, hold. How far down are we right now?
50 feet.
That's right.
So-
we got rope.
It's a pretty good fall.
And we left a
Do we
rope.
have? I'll stay down and catch just in case one of you slips.
I'll go first.
That
Alright.
way you can help people up.
Mm-hmm.
You muster your way up, and as you get there, you can see that the light of the sun shining through, but it's just now starting to die down as you cross over and you see the sun. You see the sun setting slowly over the horizon, over the many canopies of the trees, and you see the camping site that Malo and Kobus have set for you all. Nothing much else in the surrounding area. Just everything seems to be okay.
I lean over and say it's clear. It's clear. It's okay to come up.
One by one. Assuming you all go up.
I'm gonna put Kobus on my back when I climb up the rope.
Yep.
Just
Oh, we're doing this again. Alright.
isn't that what you paid me for?
That's fair. That is very fair. Put my money to use. Very good use.
I don't think you keep me for my charming personality.
I think you would be wrong on that. Pats you on the back while he's piggyback riding. Get up to the top and you see campsite and the sun starting to set. Lighting. There you go. Starts moving forward. I think we should be okay. The horses. Let me grab them again.
I didn't open.
Horses are all around here. Set right by this cliff edge.
For the person who asked me the other day if Batui's horse was still named Cock, the answer is yes.
Important information.
It's alright,
Alright.
mine's name is Cat Piss, apparently. Go ahead. Let's put a new name on that.
Well, are you all going to take a rest before you venture further in?
I'll look. I'm just gonna look to Zad for his answer.
I mean, I am completely unable to do anything to even try and help y'all. Sort of splash a little acid here and there. And that doesn't work on everything.
I'm gonna smirk and say, "Isn't that what you do anyway?"
I try to do more than that. I did make you big, and I made Vile big.
I'm gonna slap you pretty hard on the back so it's a little bit unsettling. And say, I'm just teasing you.
Also, I need to have a conversation with Lila for the rest. I'd like to offer the magical rock to her before I take it for myself after finding out what it is. Because there was quite a few times that was just a huge help to us, making the dude just drop it. I was able to identify it. I know what it does. Do you want it? I'll tell you what it does either way. Essentially, it allows you to take an earth elemental under your control temporarily. But you have to make a connection with it first.
Are you showing it to her right now, or are you just talking about it?
Yeah, I'm directly talking to Lila and showing her the rock. Once you make a connection with the stone, you can. I don't know. I'm not sure if it'll summon one or if you have to just have one in front of you, but it'll allow you to take it under your control temporarily. About an
I'm
hour.
gonna try to grab it out of your hand. Would you like me to roll for this, or would you let me take it?
I mean, I'm gonna attempt to keep it. I'm offering it to Lila of her own will, and if she doesn't want it, I plan on keeping it because an extra bodyguard around is nice to have. If we can figure out how exactly it works.
All right, that is a roll off. That is an athletics check for you and a dexterity check for.
It doesn't matter. It's a disadvantage.
Yes, it is. So it's
17.
Is it saving throw or just a check?
A saving throw, actually. Saving throw.
Does not matter.
Probably doesn't, but let's see how badly it doesn't
What was
matter.
your die roll? What was your die roll? Dice?
17.
Oh yeah, you beat me. I've got a good modifier, but not that good.
All right, fucking.
So I'm gonna grab the rock.
Yep.
Kind of like squeeze it, and start like hitting it real hard with my hand. Like, this rock's supposed to do something like that, huh?
You gotta.
Looks like just a rock to me.
That's the great thing about magic items. The good ones are usually very inane looking, on purpose.
Or look confused at the rock, look down at the ground at another rock, look back at the first rock, be like, you can have it. And I give it back to you, pick up the rock on the ground, I'm like, this one's prettier anyway.
I mean, yeah, it probably is, but it doesn't do as much.
So
I'm gonna like lob it up and down in my hand, like, it's got some heft to it. I bet I could throw it at somebody's head pretty hard.
You're right. You're right about that.
So do we think this thing is similar to whatever rock they think we already have? I
think this. I can't verify it. There's no way to know for sure without magics I don't currently have access to.
This isn't the rock. The rock before I could tell. I could feel some kind of tugging, infernal heritage.
So it may be a similar magic, though, just not
similar
earth elemental.
It is not the same rock.
But it's not the same rock. All right, I'm with you. I will trust your judgment on that. But either which way it goes, do you want the potential extra earth elemental specifically for you, or do you want me to have control of it?
First, I'll wait because it sounded like Jay was trying to say something.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I'm good.
Okay, you went and then.
Did I? Sorry, I didn't. Plays with his rock.
Actually, you would be the one to ask for the clarification. Does it summon an earth elemental at all, or does it have to be like an earth elemental in front of you and you can use the rock's power for it? Like you told me, and I couldn't figure out which one I would. The wording was confusing there.
As long as you have contact with the ground, the rock artifact allows you to enslave an earth elemental for an hour once a week.
Okay. So
yeah, you can.
So we wouldn't even
it will
be
be
able to
summoned
use it for like a week.
True, we still can't use it for like a week, but it's still. I'm offering. Zad is offering it to Lila first. It's not a pretty
I,
rock. I don't think it's considered a very pretty rock. So if that's a part of the equation,
I'd say hold on. You can hold on to it.
okay, because a part of this long rest I'm gonna spend with the rock to attune to it if it's mine.
Well, not.
So you're gonna spend the night with the rock?
Yes, I'm gonna pet the rock like it's my new familiar as I sleep.
All right.
What?
Hey, don't judge a man.
Can I get googly eyes, DM?
Just hold your token and it'll show your googly eyes. Jeez, that's terrifying.
Googly eyes on the rock.
Ugh.
Okay. Beyond the joke, thank you. And I am going to start getting my sleep. If you need me to take a shift of guard, it'll be the last one, please. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Oh, raise an eyebrow. Watch as he was watching the transaction, and then continue, and then walk into his tent, not say a word.
Boy, elf boy. You need a round of watch here.
Oh yeah, I want to do second one tonight, since I already that way I can get my half sleep and then do the full rest of the night.
Oh, there is
I'll nod.
other questions,
Because I don't need a full rest. I only need half.
but Patui's not here.
So I can do the second watch tonight.
Second half or second?
This the first half I'm not gonna do. The second half I'm gonna do.
Okay.
That way.
Patui, I'll do the first half. There we go. I heard it. Oh, Patui, I'll do the first half. Wow. Okay. Patui, thank you.
All right. But do the first half. I heard it.
Hey, DM, how likely would it be that Zad knows what kind of magic Patui might be able to use?
1 second. Someone has to just give to 5 fucking
Yeah.
subs. Yeah.
5 subs. Woo!
Thank you
Hazard
so
Macaroni.
much. Also, that reminds me.
That's pretty
You can check
hard,
your
as the kids
emotes.
say.
There is Okay. All right. I'm muting you.
All right, youngest one here.
Wow.
You can check the emotes. There's one emote there, one singular emote.
It's
just
a pretty
because.
good emote.
Yes. I just thought I would.
No one
Yeah.
told me about
Wait,
the
hold
emote.
on. Wait.
Yeah, it
can't
was
see
another
it,
surprise.
though.
It's very small. It's just a
Come on,
placeholder.
Brittany. Yo, I never knew. That's so cool.
I need.
I'll get a
Damn,
different
Jimmy
version made.
Tab.
That was just a placeholder just
oh
for
my
now.
God, it's
Honestly,
it's
that one's
so
pretty good.
small. It's good. I just wish I could see
Hey,
it.
what's send me the raw files.
I'll
see what I can do.
Yeah. I'll send you it.
Not
What's it,
now,
20
later.
Yeah. Zumzar00. Hi. Hello. Thank you for coming.
Oh my God.
Modified it.
Zumzar.
That's funny.
Someone they put the thinking hand on it.
Thank you for the gifted subs.
I don't know if it's an option. Someone should put eyes on it.
There's one to put sunglasses on it.
Oh shit.
Alright.
Alright.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just thought it was appropriate. So, the question was, how well do you think you would know Patui's?
How likely would it be that I would know what type of magic's Patui? I have a specific spell in mind if you want me to do any kind of roll for it or anything. That, out of game versus in game information, I want to do it right if it's up to you.
I'd ask you to make a singular intelligence check, Arcana check. Arcana check works for this, and that'll determine. You do know a bit, you just don't know. This will just determine how much you know.
The only reason I ask is because my dude's a wizard that studies magic.
2 more chips for the
Oh wow! Even I think it's a +6, making it a 9.
9. You do because it's very nature-based and faith-based. Those are two very very uncommon things to you, very foreign. even more that he comes from a completely different land where magic seems to work in a different way. Something seems to be slipping off of your grasp and you're not quite sure. But I'd say overall idea is any spells that you both share, you would know that you would both share. Any spell possibilities that you both share. So
it's not possible for me to think of it at this time, which means I'd never have the conversation with Patui, so.
Yeah. So Patui goes to his...
plays with this rock.
He goes to his chamber. A little tent.
Before retiring to my tent, I wanted to simply walk up to Vile, plant a hand on your shoulder, and pop a 2nd level cure wounds into you, and dismissively state, "If you die during your watch, we're all going to die."
Well, he's taking a long rest first.
Yes, and I am being preemptive because we have been
followed
during the night.
By like an assassin guild?
Well, if
No.
let's say if someone were to attack during my sleep.
Hey, I got hit for the first time.
I don't like it.
Man's a struggle.
It's gonna be 15 hit points back for you.
God damn.
Wait, Violet, are you in the game or am I controlling your shit still?
No, you're controlling him.
My laptop can't run.
Okay.
So please
Pop him up to full.
I can put mine out there if you need me to.
Have you messed around with your settings? See maybe your graphic settings. See maybe if that helps.
It's definitely not gonna work. I promise.
Well, I tried.
Thank you, I appreciate it, but I've tried everything too.
Alright, Boba starts moving forward and... Alright, I will go to sleep as soon as possible so that I can wake up early and get you all situated in the morning. But I appreciate everything, really, that happened downstairs. You're all definitely being worth the money. Whatever that may be worth to you.
Be worth more money. So my bat's seen nothing the entire time he's been up here by himself?
Roll me a perception check.
Where's the bat?
Good night. He goes in.
God.
I'm gonna slap Corvus on the back. It's not so bad hanging around you. Again, awkwardly hard.
You have a certain charm to you. You're also on Milo's tent. Slaps on the flap. Hi. Oh, thank you.
My bad.
Barrel rolls into. There we go. Vile, where would you like to stand guard?
Patui's staying first guard.
Oh, Patui's staying first guard. All right, never mind. What is the perception check for your bat, Zod?
You has advantage. So 17, 18.
18. Roaming around during the day and during the little bits of night that I've caught so far. The bat didn't seem to have caught anything in its vision as you come back into contact with it and you connect your mind to him. And the broadcast of images going through your mind is just calm throughout the entire day. And that'll count continuous throughout the night as well.
Okay.
Someone would like to make a perception check for Patui.
Patui also would lay his traps down, like he typically does.
Alright. There is some ropes and stuff.
Okay, and we...
Would you like me to just put like a little circle on the map? Or
No, no. Somebody else roll for Patui. I'm not rolling for people. Not until my rolls start doing better.
Oh, that's
I
way
was
too
rolling
thick.
for Patui. I'm rolling. What am I rolling for Patui? I kind of spaced out.
Perception
for like 10
check.
seconds. That's
Perception.
What I thought.
Something he's supposed to be good at.
Haha. 12.
Oh, wow.
Definitely good at it. Alright, so for Patui, his shift, how long is his shift going to be?
He's
That's
doing the
as
elf
long as-
thing where he takes
Yeah,
4
we're both
hours.
half.
Okay, so he's going to do a 4-hour shift.
Because elves.
Yeah. Going through the 4 hours, nothing seems to happen. There's quite a bit of rustling around. You can see, you can hear the sound of the small waves that this massive pool of water, this massive lake, right next to you, crashing slowly onto the beach side. And 4 hours go by uninterrupted. As of Darian, during your sleep, something comes to you. Something that so far has been unsettling in some ways and in some ways comforting. And now it comes to you almost with a jolt of energy. You feel electricity course through your body. And you feel like you should wake up, but it's almost as if you're numb all around. You open your eyes and there's darkness. And you hear whispers all around you. Warrior. You're getting strength. I've come to you with a trial. Challenge. You've earned my strength. And you have gotten my interest. So many things you discover that I will follow. What say you, warrior?
What are you asking of me?
That
I'm gonna reach
rage,
around for my sword as well.
you feel it. It is the only thing amongst this darkness that you can sense. Your weapon.
Sorry, I
Trial.
didn't hear what you. What trial?
This rage you feel, the wrath. You wish to control it. You wish to have control over your anger.
I'm gonna grip my sword a little tighter and say I wish to unleash it.
Only to those who deserve. You have to show me you can control it. When the time
I'm
comes,
going to let the sword go and say, I will.
when the time comes, I shall give you my trial. Your mind will be confused. And I wish for you to fight it. Focus your...
I've been fighting that for years already. I'm ready for your trial now.
Good. Patience is part of focus, warrior. Be patient. Shall give you my trial when you're ready. Now, take your warrior's rest and be filled with strength. The darkness around you starts to fade as you see yourself in your tent, grasping onto your sword. Looking around, you see a slit onto the side of your tent that you made with your sword, not even realizing you did. But you feel yourself stronger, filled with energy. Go on.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna drop my sword, look down at my hands, and just look confused for a second.
Looking into your hands, you trying to focus on anything in your mind, going through so many different things. You start getting distracted as you see your hands slightly translucent. You look down at it and you see your legs through them. And then they're opaque again. Start thinking if you imagined that, but it's felt very real.
When you say I see myself looking around my tent, do you mean an out-of-body experience, or I am laying in the tent and I'm looking around?
Laying in your tent and looking
Okay,
around.
let's make sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit up in my bed, or my cot, mat, whatever the fuck. I'm gonna sit up there for a minute and just cradle my head in my hands, trying to understand what happened.
And so, Darian, with all the journey that you have come through, you have now reached level 4. And I'll go through each one of you slowly. Well, as fast as possible. But I'm saying this now so that you can start working through your stats, if you wish.
Oh shit, it's that level, isn't it? Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's level 4.
That's
Pokemon
not what I
level
was
up music.
expecting to happen today.
So you can take your time, do everything that you need for your level up, and I'll go through each one of you. If you need any help, just ask. Right. Now, it's been about 2 hours through Tui's watch, and we come to Lila.
Christ. I am. Hello.
You lay to rest. You go through your bedtime rituals, put away the puppets and uncomfortable clothing, and then lay onto your bed. Lying down into a deep slumber. 2 hours, about 2 hours into your rest, that noise comes in again.
A new hand touches the beak.
Oh my god.
But this time, it is accompanied by a familiar beat. One you felt very, very close to you while down inside of the cave. Drum. Slowly. It gently starts to fade out. The sound of the metal. Still there. And you see that red light in the horizon. But the louder the drums become, the further the metal clinging comes. And for a second, instead of giving you relaxation, you almost panic. Almost as if it's too out of norm. And this is too unknown. You start feeling comforted in it. And in that red light, it turns yellow. And you see in the distance that image once again. The large entity. It's two sets of arms beside him. One set holding onto a staff, and the other crossed in front of him.
The yokai man.
Long, rock-edged horns adorned the side of his face, and the two mouths, one above the other. They seem to move, but you do not hear the words that come from it. But you feel the presence, unknown, interested, yet unable to see. Almost as if they know you're there, but they do not know where. And you see the path leading towards you. A shine of yellow light that then turns prismatic with all of the colors. Violet, blue, red, orange, yellow, indigo, and on each side white and black. As it connects to you, you feel a strength you hadn't before. You see it glowing onto your pocket, and you see the prism, once again, shining bright. And you're careful to pick it up, as it has burned Zad's hand before. But you feel no warmth from it. Just a cold touch of the crystal. Pull it out in front of you. And looking through it, you see that entity. Nothing more than a shadow. Silhouetted in front of the yellow horizon. And you hear the growl. Low rumbling, reverberating inside of your head. You attempt to push it away, and it keeps invading your mind, attempting to control it. and you see upon the green of the path, another shadow walks upon it. Familiar. Tall elven figure, holding a staff. It's Batui looking around, and you feel comfort. Comfort in the fact that he is carrying this burden with you. You feel that connection between the two of you get stronger and stronger. And you, Lila, also reached level 4. Stop.
It shocks me literally every time when you start playing that track how visceral the reaction has become.
I am glad, honestly. You can do as you wish to get your level up. And I will go through the others.
That's right. I need to think.
I have a quick question. Where is like a list of available feats? Because I can either go with ASI or a feat.
Mats, you can help him with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one in D and Beyond seems to be Grappler, and no thank you.
Yeah. Here, hold on. I got you. Give me a second. I got you.
Thank you.
So, let's get through everyone. Zed. Base. Getting. Alright. Zed Oliviet. Suggestivně. As you fall asleep, getting this well-deserved rest, as your exhaustion starts to settle in, and you find yourself instantly passing out onto your head. Your rest is instantly interrupted by pale white light. Almost as if it's burrowing its way through your eyes and into your mind. And in it you see that spherical shape. The only thing that seems to adorn the sky, completely overwhelm tiny shines of the bright stars, imposing onto you, attempting to grasp at you. You feel that jumbling in your mind becomes stronger and stronger, and that feeling of insanity getting closer and closer. And you start feeling a warmth at your back. A warmth you hadn't felt before, and you're unsure what even it is. You feel your spell book next to you. Almost as if you feel its presence. You feel it looking directly at you. And you hear the voice in your head, behind you, all around. I found new ways to connect to you. And I am unsure if you even want it. You seem to be going through a lot of your own pain. do not wish to impose, but I also wish to help, if you will let me.
I feel... Yes. I think it's needed.
As soon as you say yes, you feel instantly connection at the nape of your neck, almost as if something just linked with your spine. You feel a jolt of energy through your body. Slightly painful. And then it settles. Almost as if you concentrated on that more than your mind. Even if for just a split second. And you hear in the back of your head, thank you. I will put it to good use. I know what you've been through. And I will be sure to help you in your goal. Whatever that may be. Whatever you wish, I am here.
I can tell you that understanding is a part of that goal, William. As far as I remember from the last you said, that's what you need.
Yes. I have come to understand you quite a bit. And, now, even more so. As you feel, when he says that, you feel your arms move slightly. Almost as if you're being puppeted. Not in a controlling way.
Yeah.
More just slight spasms. As if he is attempting to course through you and allow himself to be part of you. Well, I'm unsure as to how this works, but I'm sure we can figure it out together.
Together. With the many friends that we're making. I guess soon I'll have to actually introduce you. Because without them, I don't think we would have made it as far as we have.
I hope it doesn't freak them out too much. I, myself, am still unsure as to what I am.
You know how many different things talk to me every day? How often do you think... You know how often I talk back.
That is true. Whatever you wish, I trust your judgment. I'll be here. With that, you feel that those spasms that seem to be very difficult to control now is just settling down and allowing you some time to rest. And that light, pale white light, starts to dim slowly as you fall back into a deep slumber. And you have now reached level 4. You asked me something, DMs. I'm completely fine with you taking that feat.
Thank you.
Vile.
Yes.
As you settle down to sleep, with the acts that you have made this day, ever since that last blow, a final hit one last strike. You feel warmth emanating from you. It doesn't bother you. It doesn't get you too hot to sleep under your covers. It is always just enough to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel at home. As strange as that might be, as you yourself do not know where home is. Then you settle down to sleep, and you feel that warmth settling in with you. And instantly, as soon as any sleep is had, you hear the voice in your head, around you, all encompassing, very imposing. So, warrior, shade cast by my light, you've done a good deed. You have done many of those, and you wish to follow on my. As it says that, you see a silhouette. Dark, just humanoid. No discerning features in the bright, shining sun behind it. You wish to follow the path of the sunlight as you walk amongst my shadow. You have taken up my oath, so you shall. How do you wish to proceed under my wing?
Sorry, I'm going through some of the stuff on the DnD
Good.
because I'm also reading on some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would like to follow the path. Okay, so sorry, am I choosing
This is more for roleplay purposes, so you can
just roleplay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your character's interests.
I do wish to follow your path and figure out where home is.
Home for you. Home can be many things, but you have not even figured out where your shadow is. Your mirror. I can show you this path, and I know what it holds. You must be strong enough to go through it. You must not allow your shadow to be tormented. You must be focused. You must be strong. You must always follow light. And I shall show you home.
I will follow this light. And I will not fail.
And so we shall see. For failing me is failing yourself. I I will not allow you to do yourself that disservice. Cast your shadow upon the world, Starwalker. And let it be known that you were always walking the sun on your back.
I will.
And as those words leave your lips, you feel that sun that was right in front of you, light casted from behind. You attempt to look towards the sun, but it is always behind you, no matter where you look. And as you look forward, you see the light shining through. You see your shadow casted upon this lit up path. You walk. You walk and walk. What feels like ages. And you never feel exhausted. It is always filled with energy. As you have now reached level 4. Through whatever it is that you need. I'm sure that Mots can also help you with that, and Malton.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but this is the last
we
one
have to roll
because
for HP at some point.
yeah, you can do that at any time.
Cool.
Just put them in chat whenever you roll them.
Yeah. Got that intelligence +1.
Let's go.
Got max
Let's-
intelligence now.
Go.
Let's fucking
Well.
go.
And I got a new trick. And I haven't even picked my spells yet.
Hmm.
Do I want this?
Also, now that you said it, Mots, just a side note, real
Yeah.
quick, off game.
Concerning, but okay.
No, not really. My girlfriend has been addicted to the way you say "let's go."
Let's go.
It's kind of
Heck
became a
yeah,
thing
man.
now. We just keep doing our best Mott's impression. it's a very
I approve of this. I
Yeah.
approve of this.
That
Let's
makes me
go.
happy.
every time.
That makes me happy.
I already have that.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sh-
so conflicted on what to
Yes.
do with my whether I want a point increase or a feat.
Feet all the way, man. That's just me.
Well, the thing is that like my primary stat is already capped.
Okay. So you don't need a half feet nearly as much.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I heard. And if you do a half feet, it's just making you better at not dying.
It's like I don't know. Stat increases are great, but holy shit,
Indeed,
Dude,
they are.
feats.
Like,
The thing is, a lot of feats aren't great for me. I mean, I might as well bring up the discussion.
I had
I
to
was-
decide whether I wanted to subject people to my mind or to Zad's mind or not. Between the
God.
2 feats I wanted most.
were you looking at like telepathy?
I was looking at telepathic versus telekinetic.
Yeah, I figured. I am torn about whether or not I want to take inspiring leader.
Skill
Hmm.
expert was also on the list, but I'm not building that type of character right now. I just really love that feat in general.
Lala
Inspiring
going
leader
full
is definitely a
sport.
well. I mean, yeah, Lala's always been designed to be full support.
Yeah.
The thing with inspiring leader is that it is something that I intend to take eventually. I just
Mhm.
don't know whether I feel Lila is mentally that state.
Mhm.
But then again, it's like it could be a thing that's not even necessarily intentional.
I'm trying to think of some good touch spells.
Plus, like, I am desperately trying to keep us alive.
Yeah, that's why I've been thinking about this one that I can take, which will help you if the worst came to worst, and it
I've
wasn't
also
me.
kind of been thinking about like alert though, because +5 initiative is kind of fat, and being unsurprisable as the support is very nice.
Mhm.
There ain't nothing to take at this level to help you, really.
Fuck.
Not from a wizard's side of the fence, you know what I'm saying? Like, I help
got
other
you.
ways. I just don't like that spell.
God, I haven't even started looking at spells. I'm trying to figure out this shit.
Oh, I need to add one to a bunch of numbers. That's about it.
I didn't think we were leveling up today, so I wasn't like ready.
I've
It was
been
not
ready. I was ready for level 5 before we got level 2. All right.
Yeah. I have certain levels that are huge, and I'm like ready for. 5 is one of them because that's the one where I get my inspiration back on a short rest.
Mm.
That's when I get access to 3rd level spells. That's
That one's good too.
Think about it. Think about it. I can change the element of spells at will. I also have access to Fireball. Well, it's not fire anymore.
I know
But-
we've talked about this.
It's going to be awesome. I'm sorry.
Alright. Let's get stuff done and we'll
I'm trying.
move forward as quick as
But there's
possible.
so many good spells. It's hard to choose.
Fuck. I think it's better if I just take Inspiring Leader now rather than later.
I can't remember if Spider Climb is touch or not. Look that up.
Pretty sure Spider Climb is, but yeah. Better to look it up.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm gonna take durable, which gives me one. How do I add this on my D&D Beyond character sheet? Does anybody?
Uh,
I just have to like
Um,
kind of manually do it myself.
Yeah, firstly, Spider Climb is touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me see on D&D Beyond.
what I always do when I need like something that I don't want to pay for is I go to the homebrew tab and I literally just make a homebrew feat, and it's just the
Mhm.
existing feat, and then assign it to
Okay.
my character sheet.
And it's a lot of typing.
Copy
A
and
lot of
paste.
copying and pasting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do literally right now to get Inspiring Leader.
Fucking hacks. Oh shit, the sub goal. I forgot that was a thing. Well, I guess we don't need that anymore. That's great.
I guess I ought to take this just because it's an
Okay.
awesome spell. So that's all. Let's go. Just because I ain't got the time to build a new spell right now that I'm not finished with.
Darian, are you taking a level in what we discussed before?
That's right. Echo Knight.
Go nice.
Well, no, I was gonna do it the next level.
Next one.
Unless,
Gotcha.
yeah, because this I wanted the feat, and then
Good
you
plan.
can take a feat
Or
and
one.
still do that level.
Thought feats were tied to. Okay.
As in you can multi-class and take a feat in the same level. They're not exclusive.
Wouldn't that be a 3-1 then?
3-1, yeah.
Level
ASI
4 I
is
get
a
the
part
ASI
of the.
though.
Sorry, say that again, Darren?
Level 4 is when I get the ASI though.
Yeah.
It's attached to class though.
The level 4?
The ASI is attached to class level, not character.
Ah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Now proficiency bonus is attached to character level, not.
Yeah, that's
I
proficiency
was
bonus.
just making sure. I was making sure
Yeah.
I was doing this right.
Val, you good with your stuff?
Me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shit.
Good with your leveling up?
Yeah, I believe so.
Would you like me to roll for your HP or someone? Maybe not my
No, I
Yeah,
would
we-
not
we-
like
we
you to
don't let
not
you
roll
roll
for
I'm
that,
things.
okay.
please.
I'm just gonna hide here in the corner, and I'm just gonna let you guys
Would
you
would
think?
like me
Thank
to
you.
roll
Yeah.
for it?
yeah.
I don't want you to just hide in that corner. I want you to throw a blanket over your head too.
All right,
Holy shit.
there you go.
I don't trust you. Don't even look at the roll.
I will not curse your roll with my eyes.
Let me
Someone
take a
roll
look.
for me.
I will do it. I just forget what your hit dice is. I assume it's a D10. Yes, it is. Where are your D10s? Alright.
It's time out. Apparently,
Hold on.
it's my fucking session. It's getting timed out. So, unblindfold myself.
I'm sorry.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 1.
Oh, we
Oh
re-roll
my.
once. We re-roll once.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
excellent.
Oh my.
Oh no.
I'm trying to write stuff down, and this is going on, guys. Y'all got me off put here.
Alright. 5 is better.
There you go.
5 is average.
5 plus your Constitution modifier, whatever that may be.
Yeah, the sheet auto calcs con mod.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. It's on. I forgot that DnD Beyond is quirky like that.
I would call that quirky. Manage feats.
So I
I
just
need to
gained
roll
one.
a d6, don't I? Okay, I'll roll a d6 somewhere. I have one.
Mhm.
It's not d6. There it is.
Does anyone
Watch it be
know?
crap. It's gonna be crap.
Oh.
It's not
6.
crap.
It's
I'm stable on these
You're a
AT
beefy
rolls.
fucking
for sure.
wizard. Jesus fucking Christ.
I am stably high.
Gonna have to up my game to kill this wizard.
The only place I ever roll good.
That's not even wrong.
Is
That
Patui?
puts me at
It's
35
1d8
health, guys.
or
Uh,
Patui.
I
If anyone
believe
wants to
that-
roll,
I believe that Druid is a D8. You want me to do it, Malted, or do you want to do it?
I will attempt.
I mean,
I don't want my curse to come back on this roll.
it is
for
a
his
d8.
health.
well, if you roll a 1, then I'll do it.
We'll go with that. That works for me. Or I roll a 7.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's fucking
so
go. Let's go.
and his con mod is 1, so he gets +8.
It's not even a conscious thing. Alright, so his new hit point maximum is 33.
Let's go.
Mine is 39. Apparently.
All right. 39.
I have almost as much health as the fucking paladin.
39. How much health do you have?
35.
Let's
How
go.
the
Him!
Jeez.
Now I'm self-conscious.
How much health do you have? 35. Oh, no.
I think I should be higher, but I'm not gonna worry about it.
I've
So
had
I
one
don't-
not 6. That's why my health is so high. That and I do have a +3 con.
Yeah,
Which die did you guys roll for him? Was it D10, right?
we rolled
or is-
for Patui, we rolled a D8.
And for
Yes.
Vile?
It should
D10?
have been a
For
D10.
Vile, we rolled a D10.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Alright. I think this is all that can be done.
I'm sorry. What I roll for my character? I have a +5 Constitution bonus.
I
A
believe you're a
D10.
D10.
Decent. Hold on.
Jesus, plus
Yeah,
5.
sorry.
This fucking guy is massive.
Yeah, he hit 20 con this level.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, that's a 6, so 11.
A good old
Alright.
11 more HP.
Good old
for the
fucking
fight.
41. Jeez.
You did
Wait, is that
factor
even-
that.
Mr. Moss, could you?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you, sir. I'm still trying to figure out the somber thing. I named it the same thing and it said not allowed. Now I gotta remake the whole thing.
All right.
You
Hold
can't,
on.
like, publish it, but
I have a
you'll
question.
Still be able to use it.
Is it
Sure.
properly factoring the fact that upping your con modifier is retroactive to your previous levels.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. This is 4th level, so just add
So that's another 3.
add 3. Yeah.
So now the fighter has 45 HP.
45 hit points. That's okay. So just so that is clarified for Kulu, the way that HP works is it works retroactively. So if you up your Constitution, it works back to your Constitution modifier. It works backwards to every single level that you've taken so far. So you take an extra hit point.
There's one other thing that does that, and I can't remember. I believe it's called the Tough Feat, and it gives you +2, +1 or +2 for every level up.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Shit, you're distracting me from my spells. Fuck.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Take your time. Take your time. Go ahead.
Wait, everybody or just him? Just him, right?
It's for everyone. If you took Constitution ASI, ability score improvement, and it raised,
or if a feat that you're taking raised your Constitution.
If anything raises your Constitution, it works retroactively with your levels because you took HP each level. You take back those points from each level that you've been in.
I'd become extra beefy too if I up my Constitution from here.
Yeah. Are you taking anything, Vile?
When I did it, when I was doing my level up, I did the Constitution and Dexterity.
One in Con, one in Dex.
How much is your Constitution modifier now?
It stayed at 0.
Ah, okay. So it's okay. So you just
a lot less con than I thought.
Yeah, and it's still 39 hit points. That's quite beefy, honestly.
Yeah.
For 0 Constitution.
That means you've rolled high for every roll.
Yeah.
But the only issue about that was that I've never done it through Beyond before. Last time I just rolled, but this time when I rolled, it added like an HP modifier or whatever already to it that you guys were talking about.
If you have 0 in it, then it shouldn't add anything. You have 0 on your Constitution modifier.
Yeah, what's your con score?
The big number. I'm assuming it's a 10 currently, or 11.
Wait, I gotta figure this out.
That sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Because it said it added 6 for me doing it by itself. It was like already at 6. I haven't touched it once, and it was already adding it for me.
God, I don't.
Which is confusing now. Okay. My Constitution, right?
Yeah. Your score.
Yeah, it's 11. The score is 11, but it says plus 0.
It should be 11.
It should be. Yeah, it should be plus 0 if it's 11.
Yeah.
God, I gotta pick a spell.
And now I'm very confused about my health.
Man.
Gotta get that checked out.
They're so good. Damn it.
Okay, so then I should be back down to 36, right?
How much did it add?
It added, so when I rolled it, it was supposed to be 36. And then it added 3 more, or 36, 7, 38, 39. Yeah, it added 3 more points for some reason. And I said, okay. And so then...
Are you sure you didn't up your modifier from 0 to 1?
I haven't updated anything. All of it's still the same. And then whenever I added in... when I was going through the...
all right, what is your con score right now?
It's 11.
It's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I added that thing to it, and then 1 for that and 1 for Dex, but I didn't see if it went up or not. I just added it and then moved on to the next part. So.
It's tricky. What was your HP beforehand?
28.
28.
So it should be at 34.
34. Okay.
Because we rolled a... No, wait. I rolled
you rolled a 5.
Should be 33.
That
seems...
feels wrong.
No, wait.
Did you roll for your previous level? Do you know if you rolled for your previous level? Oh, maybe you didn't roll for your previous level, and It added 3. Oh no, your hit die is 10, so it would add 5 if it was an average. Never mind.
God damn
Well,
it.
it tried to add 6 when I was
I have
doing
no
it
idea
now.
what's going
And that was the
on.
first time I ever used D&D Beyond to do it right now. I think all the other times I just kind of rolled, and then that's what I rolled, and I
So
just added that to my health.
your maximum H. No, this I mean 33 seems about right. If you have a flat con mod,
Yeah.
because the first level was maxed out, right? So it would have
Yeah.
been 10 plus 6 now. Sorry, 5 now. Plus, I mean, 33 is a high, but like believable. I
Yeah.
think that's probably about right.
We can go with this, and
On
next
a related
session we'll
note,
check it
consider
properly.
raising on the related note, consider raising your con score even higher.
I tried raising
When
it now.
taking
I
max
think I'm
con-
just gonna do it now. So
when both the bard and the wizard have higher HP than the paladin, it is a little bit concerning.
He's
not
also a
really when
powerhouse at
Paladin's
damage.
also good. Yeah, kind of
It's a bit of a glass cannon build he's going for. If you want to raise your constitution, you still can. You gotta take away the point from dexterity and put it in constitution, and it will raise it to 1 plus 1.
Okay, then I'm gonna do that.
That would give you an extra 4 HP because, like we were talking, retroactive, bring you up to a total of 30.
37.
Yes. Okay. I've been distracted from my spells again, you motherfuckers.
You're
I
welcome.
didn't do it.
Take
Don't
your
blame
time.
me, I didn't
Go.
do it.
Go look at your
Oh, I lost my
spells.
card.
Okay, and
What time was
so
Spitui supposed to arrive? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, where should I? You said it would give me an extra 4, right? On healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that should be at
Yes.
33, 34.
You'd be at 37
Okay,
right now.
37.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's perfect.
Darian?
Oh, what time was Spitui supposed to arrive?
Like an hour ago.
Like an hour ago. I sent him a message. It's just
making
test out
sure.
again.
Yeah. He's
Alright.
gotta open it like, I don't know.
Are you good to go, Malton? With your setup? Have you chosen everything?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm going as fast as I can.
It's okay.
You want me to announce it all?
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said, do you want me to announce it all?
You don't need to. I'm just asking to see who's ready. Lyle, you good? Or are you still picking stuff? What do you...
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just.
let me
What
see.
do I do with all these spells?
You get
I'm just
one
trying to
extra
pick
spell
something.
slot. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was the 3rd level.
Yeah, you do.
You have 3. He
No,
already
you
had
get,
3.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
him. He
Yeah.
has a half caster, so
Yeah, he still has 3 spell slots.
yeah.
Your proficiency stays the
He
same.
counts as a level 2 spellcaster now. So
Yeah.
whatever we had at level 2 is what he has now.
No. No, at level 2 he had 2 spell slots. Now he has
No,
had
no, I'm
3
saying-
since level 3.
As full casters, we have twice as many slots,
Oh,
basically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he's the same as a level 2 full caster
Gotcha.
because he's a half caster.
So it's first level.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm going to deafen myself. I need to focus.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You don't gain much else as a paladin. This is the level more for ASIs or feats.
Yeah, this is the level where we all get ASI or feat every class.
Yep. Darian, any questions? Anything you need?
I did get a spell at level 3 though.
Yeah, level 3 you did. Yeah.
Yeah. I got the channel divinity. Cool.
Anything we can help you with, little boy? Oh, hello?
Hello.
Oh, there you
Kind
go.
sir.
Hi.
I've returned. Hello.
So, anything we can help you with?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm level 4. I'm good. Unless you can give me
Yes.
another drink. Maybe some pizza rolls.
Right on it.
Thank you.
You like a feet massage?
Oh, Monsters.
No thanks.
Weirdest restaurant. I can only get abilities. Yeah. Sure.
Should have taken dark vision. I thought about it,
It's time.
but Patui's asleep. Can we make decisions for Patui?
For this session, you can. If you'd like to make decisions, and he can take them back. Just so that he has everything that he can.
Can we just swap one of his prepared second level spells out? That's all I care about.
Which is?
Put in dark vision, because druids have that.
Sure. If you think that's useful, go right ahead. You can change anything for him.
It's more useful than what we're doing, or what we're gonna try. What we would try otherwise. I don't know where that card is.
Give this man sight.
He's got so many cards.
Give this man a shield.
I'm down, Black Panther.
While he's doing his thing, we can. I can already tell you all that when Vile comes out for his shift and the night goes by with no particular events.
Why won't it show me the card?
And so,
There it is.
it's okay. No, you can't do that. When you start the anime noises, I can't. Oop, that's way too. There we go.
No idea what you're talking about.
So the sun comes around, and Phobos comes out of his tent, and he looks at Val. It has been on shift for the last 4 hours.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can still take your time if you need. I'm just adjusting things and keeping them moving, but you can take your time.
Mods, I can't update the card where you have the spell stuff.
Oh,
I put the dark vision card next to it, just so we can keep track of it properly. We need to add that spell slot there.
Cool. I'm struggling. There we go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the flow, but
That's fine.
Real quick, just before we go,
Mhm.
I want Malton's opinion. Sorry, I think I've lied. I think I've already made my decision.
okay.
It's always good to give them the chance to not have the chance. Just go right on ahead.
You can always DM me if you ever feel like you want to ask me a question, guys. Just so you know. I'm just putting it out there in general.
And so, the sun comes rolling in, and you all find your various different ways of waking up and getting on to continue with your day, or rather, start it. Scobus comes and starts preparing food for you all.
So, this is where I kind of do a thing. I'm going to ask everybody, what simple food do they miss?
Oh boy.
I could go for waffles.
Alright. With or without jam or syrup?
There we go.
Oh. No preference?
Machine gun? The hell?
I'll take a sandwich.
Alright. What I need to know, like, a flavor here is the idea. Like, I need a simple flavor. Like, waffles with syrup.
Wait,
Are you talking to
a
me or
waffle or a sandwich?
Just in general, I need like a simple flavor. Chocolate. You know.
Chocolate sounds wonderful.
Alright. And after I've gathered everyone's preference, Kobos as well, and Milo, As I'm chopping up apples, I'm going to prestidigitate on different piles of apples those flavors, and the apples will actually taste as if you're eating waffles or chocolate or.
It's so fucked up.
The best I got.
Oh no!
Guys.
Like this is the thing is, I always think about seasoning bland shit, not seasoning shit like others. Fucking chocolate apple.
You chomp into an apple and you taste what? You taste waffles. That consistency.
Hey, the point was
eating healthy.
the point was that I know these guys have all been traveling and eating nothing but apples, pretty much. Now for at least a week.
Add a little spice. Good.
I'm gonna take a bite of the apple and then say it's delicious, and then spit a seed towards him.
I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna tweak his nipple with my mage hand.
What an outrageous statement.
And here's the sad part. No verbal or somatic components required, and I can make it invisible if I want. So he has no clue what's going on.
Well, wait, what armor are you wearing, Vile?
Chainmail. Chainmail.
You gotta get through the chainmail.
That's gonna be hard.
I mean,
So are your nipples.
I'll never tell.
you just feel a strange tug on your chainmail. No idea where it came from.
I'm gonna raise an eyebrow and just walk away because I didn't like that.
All right. I'm gonna stop.
Let me roll a little perception check here real quick.
Yeah, can someone
Let me do a...
Oh. Anyway.
Wait, hold on. DM's rolling a perception check. I'm scared that a demon's flying by and watch what happens.
He's coming for your nipple next.
Hey, you're the shirtless one.
Not really. That's model for now. Next level.
Next level.
Next level, he gains a shirt.
The next level, he takes it off.
Each level, I lose another piece. It's fine.
Bursts. Yeah, it's great.
Chocolate waffles and what was the other thing? Wow, what did you say when I asked for a simple flavor?
A
Sandwich.
Like a ham sandwich?
Can I make it taste like a sandwich?
You can make it taste like the,
presentation-
for example, what is inside of the sandwich? Like, is it ham inside of the sandwich, bacon, or, you know, the things within it? Or just bread, but that is not really a sandwich.
It's like a hot dog because a hot dog is a sandwich.
You're not wrong.
Okay. Alright, you're going to time out.
Well, I guess for that I could like chop it into multiple pieces and like make each piece taste like a different part of the sandwich. So I'm gonna call you an asshole as I hand it to you for making me work harder. And tell you if you want it to taste like a sandwich, you have to eat multiple pieces at once.
That's fine with me. And then I'll grab all the pieces and stack them like a sandwich and take a bite.
They're all out of order too. That's how I'm imagining it. Like I don't know how that would affect it, but they're completely out of order. Like the bottom one tastes like bologna, and like the middle one tastes like bread, and like another random one at the top tastes like mustard.
Making the most. This is how you live life. That's
prestidigitation and invisible mage hand nipple turkey. All right.
Life of a traveler.
These idiots are doing their thing. I want to go plop over next to Darian.
We'll look at Lila and say male bonding.
I'm going to completely ignore that one.
You should.
Second chips are kicking in.
I'm going to take out my some of my crafting supplies, put a little bit of cloth in front of you, and just put down my sewing kit, and I'll say, "You wanted to make Reginald a cape."
I'm gonna pull Reginald out. Sit and look at it. What color cloth do you have?
What I have produced in front of you is probably a small scrap of red.
Reginald's gonna jump into that and get all cozy.
Excellent.
Can I help in any way? I feel bad making you do this.
I was hoping you would. Sewing time is bonding time. That's why they call it close knit.
I must warn you,
I
my
would-
hands are large and rather clunky.
That's fine. I wanted to talk about something. And I don't
Yes.
mean to call you out in any way. Why are you so protective of me?
You remind me of someone. Someone I once knew. Someone who helped me. Someone I failed.
I see. I only ask because, well, I had a plan yesterday, and I suppose I didn't expect you to jump in the way of me intentionally trying to get myself hit. Caught me off guard. I won't press you for details. I'm
It's fine. If you want
Sure
them,
that
I'll
those
give
will-
them. But it's not a fun story.
They never are. That's why we're broken.
Quite. Long
Are we
ago.
all overhearing this?
Um,
That's
That
up to
depends.
you.
They
Y'all are
pro-
fucking having your sandwich apples
Yeah,
glued to
you're-
each other's nipples.
I'd say this was
Christ.
while you guys were doing this, so I would say
Okay.
they're having their own private time.
Okay.
Sorry.
Long ago during the war, my ship crashed. There wasn't any survivors. I don't know what happened, but when I woke up, I was in a tiefling village. They nursed me back to health. There's a small child there. I grew protective of her, but I couldn't save her either. That's why I'm protective of you. I don't want you to have the same fate.
Darian, what is the war about?
Fools. Just fools.
I know that, but my family was always so busy back home. A home is difficult, and opinion on the war is divided between those who support it and those who don't. More or less split down the middle. My family don't, and for that reason they kept me more sheltered than I should have been. I could have asked at any time, but I don't know why I didn't. What are people actually fighting about? Do you even know?
Not truly. I was born into it. Born to learn that you were the enemy. I was wrong. Something bigger than both of us. This past doesn't mean anything anymore. I just wanted to see it stop.
I'll nod. I think it's going to stop soon, and I must admit, I'm a little bit afraid of the reasons it might. Things are... Well, I think we're only a few tense political discussions from all-out civil war back home, and I don't think we could support both of those.
I'm gonna lean back a bit, look up. In truth, I don't even want my side to win either. things I've seen, the disregard for life on both sides disgusts me.
Well, neither of us knowing what it causes is the root of the problem of these things, you know? People couldn't discuss things civilly, couldn't sort their issues out like normal people. So they send people who have no idea what's going on to fight their battles for them like cowards.
I think the cause is actually wealth, power. Power-hungry people on both sides make this. Using people like pawns. Destroying families, destroying lives. All for land.
Not all wealthy people are like that.
Perhaps. The ones I've seen, that's how they've gotten it. That's why I fight. Take what I get.
Not
Enough to get by.
The region of Ofo where I'm from, there are families. Mostly. I'll pause for a second as I think my words through a little bit, and I'll say, mostly focused on agricultural industries. Very wealthy families, noble families that they do things right. They're well liked by the people. It's those families that are against the war. The ones who actually care for their people.
Maybe I should be on that side.
What was that village called?
I don't know the name. I doubt you know the person, but do you know a Nimta?
I can't imagine I do, Jay.
Sorry, say that again?
So I can't imagine
No,
I do.
who?
The name of the nurse, yeah, Nimta. That I met in the village.
You do not, but hearing the name, give me a history check real quick.
Where am I? I've been doing my laps around the board while we discuss.
I'm just concentrate on the shot here. Well, 15. In terms of more common knowledge and knowing the different regions of being educated at home, but with well, things of your past that I do not need to tell you. You do have a sense that this name tends to be relatively common more along the south of the whole country of where you're from.
And I do forget because it's been a very, very long time since we discussed such things. So, and I guess this is just good knowledge for all the players. So, my homeland is of course divided into, it was like 2 islands, right? Ofa and the other one whose name I will never remember. Speaking of which, I do need to write that down if you wouldn't mind giving it to me in writing.
Yeah, keep it going. I'll get it for you.
Okay. But which island would that be on?
That would be actually in the Earth, in the mainland colonization part of it. Which is why it's so recognizable, the name. It's more taking up a different culture, the parts of which they have managed to gather on these year-long wars and that name is a lot more common along the mainland, which is south of both of the islands.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. God, it's been so long.
Right?
It's hard enough remembering shit that we discussed 3 weeks ago when we had our last session. Um, just say, it's a fairly common name, but can't imagine I know the person.
Dina.
Sounds like it's probably from the mainland, which Ofa isn't. With how
I don't.
things have been going, I'm gonna roll up my previously deleted sleeve to expose the mark on my upper arm. I'll say, I don't want to go into things. There's a lot of things I'm not ready to face yet, and I think you already knew that from the visitor that we had some weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna be staring at the mark. Does it hurt?
No?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Alright. No. I'll say it doesn't. But the people who are responsible for this shouldn't be here. They're from my home. And they may be following me, trying to figure out or expand on what they've done. Like they're tracking some kind of experiment. But I feel like it might lead back to my home at some point, so maybe you'll get your chance to see it.
I'm not sure I'm ready to see it again.
I think, under the right circumstances, you will be.
Perhaps.
And besides, I will produce the last bit of the bottle of very fine wine. I'll say, I'm going to need more of this. And I promised you that I would get you some.
Cheers, little one.
Just pass the bottle over, and no better time to start drinking than 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Take a swig, pass it back.
Perfect.
Drink. Finish it off.
Yes.
Perhaps another time before we. Or perhaps another time when we're not about to delve into the dungeon filled with shadow monsters. We'll have time to discuss more of this.
Yeah, shadow monsters.
As you finish the bottle, it's almost as if there was a little bit of the earthly taste that settled at the bottom of the bottle, and the last bit of it that was left was slightly bitter, even though you have always reveled in the tastes of the wine bottles. They were always fresh. There was always new ones, and when it was about to finish, there'd be a new one brought in. And this time, it kind of brings in more that idea of being away from home and fills you with a bittersweet revelation of what it means to truly be independent. That's all.
Pack it away. Keep the bottle as a keepsake.
Mm. So, we'll move away from
Oh,
this
one more thing.
moment. Is anything?
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Lila,
Mhm.
if your family has done this, I will make sure to make them pay for it.
There are a lot of things I could say about my family. Mostly that they didn't try hard enough when I needed it the most. Although maybe that's just part of me lashing out. But I would never accuse them of doing something like this.
Well, when the time comes, you will have my sword.
Good.
It's right about this time that Reggie balls in, just cuddled inside of the little piece of cloth. Seems to be struggling and trying to get inside of it, and it just rolls in, struggling, just falling all over the place.
Maybe actually showing you how to do this would be better suited for another time.
He just settles on next to your feet, just done with it. Right. Milo goes in. So what is the plan for today, everyone? I'm unsure as to how long I'll be staying for. I'd like to stick around and make sure you're all safe before I leave. But I'd like some sort of schedule. That'd be nice.
I think the plan for the day is go in a hole, fight some shadows, hope for the best. You want another chapter in your book?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy, hold on. I was not even tapped into the game.
You get advantage because of what? Because of last session. Intrigued him.
Eight.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not charismatic. We talked about this. Shame we have a bard sitting next to us. I'm gonna lean over and elbow Lila. Don't you think you should stay for another chapter?
I've already been feeling like I'm straying away from my path. I may wait and see where yours lead a little bit further, but this seems like a lot of you, all of you, and like my path as well elsewhere. But I will
It
wait.
wouldn't feel right to try and talk you out of that. But your company's been appreciated, and we appreciate you looking after Kobos when we're... Well, and I'll pause for a second, and suddenly out pops a good old jester hand puppet folio, and just like, seeking death.
I mean, as long as you're looking for it before it looks for you. That way you can be prepared for it. But Kobus is the one that has been taking care of me. Pulls out his notebook. All of this shit, I don't know how to do this. It has been helpful in both ways. I'm glad that I've been able to help as well. But I will wait. I'll be up here, and I'll be sure to take care of Kobus for now. And maybe tomorrow I'll start on my journey. But, well, we'll see how it goes first.
Fingers crossed we'll be moving by then.
Fingers crossed. He sits next to the campfire, continues to eat. Well,
So what flavor did Milo choose?
Milo, let me think for a second.
Milo chose peanut butter because he's allergic to peanuts but likes the taste.
Oh, that's a wonderful choice. Actually, that'd be hilarious.
It's canon now.
Milo chose grapes.
Grapes.
Very simple.
Did you catch what I put in game chat?
Setting up Pythons for their open security. Ah, nice. Alright, good. That can be done easily. Assuming the traps are gone. These ones.
I'm gonna assume Patui did Patui things and check the weather and all that.
Let's
Hi, I'm
say so.
Patui, and I talk to all the animals in the forest.
You don't sound like Patui. Can you try again?
Sorry. Patui, and I talk to all the animals in the forest.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My bad.
We like our
That's you.
accuracy here. Thank you very much. So.
I forgot I wasn't RPing. That was just above table.
If we RP, we full, you know.
To be honest, I am technically RPing. Exhausted Sad did not think of the pythons. Pitons? Pittons?
Pythons. Pittons.
Okay.
Fuck. Okay, now you fucked my head.
Always thought it was
Continuing
pitons.
on. The weather will be clear for the rest of the day.
Epic.
Alright. Not that it matters much, as you will be spending your next few hours on the ground.
So he tells us all that it's going to be good
Sometimes
weather.
it's nice to
like,
know what
wow,
we're
what a
missing.
waste.
So, are you heading down now?
Before we do,
Mhm.
this isn't something I want to full out RP, but it is something I'll just real. Whoa! I just got some hard deja vu. Holy fuck!
Oh.
I didn't like that. Sorry.
Mhm.
We'll just sit down real quick. Sparks notes it. Cliff notes. Just give everyone a little. Tell them I'm gonna play them a little song. Get them ready.
Yeah.
Think about the music. Think about what we're gonna have to do down there. Remind them we got a riddle. Run them through the riddle again. Tell them to think on it while I play them a song. I'm just gonna, for 10 minutes, use music to give them inspiring leader.
Nice. Very nice.
Everyone can add 9 temporary hit points.
All right.
Very good.
I only have 54 HP. This is enough.
I will enjoy the tune, tap my foot, and I'm going to be like, all right, I got to finish securing this rope so it's safer to go down. And
You feel inspired to finish this endeavor.
Yeah. I'm going to actually go start climbing down the rope and setting up pitons and securing the rope on my way down and then have it properly.
Each time you say it, it just becomes even more difficult to pin down what the word was actually supposed to sound like. I don't know what it's supposed to sound like. Pitons, pitons.
Piton.
Fuck it. Alright, so...
Sound like a southerner making
rope
fun of
secure things, got it.
Yep.
Yeah, essentially.
It's easy enough.
Did the cape get made for Reggie or no?
No, I think we implied that he was too busy playing in the cloth.
That's fair.
Tackling it. I will be waiting here and just... I might go downstairs and inspect the door a bit further, but do let me know what you find, if you find anything interesting. And secure the place, of course, but I don't have to tell you that.
Alright, Gobos, have fun exploring the cave.
I most certainly shall.
I'm gonna pack.
I'll be the first one to go down.
Alright.
I will be the last.
I'll test the ropes just in case.
I mean,
You don't trust the pythons?
we went down on worse yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's a new day, so I'll go first anyway.
It's a new day. All right.
Are you guys doing anything at the entrance.
Aye.
Right.
I'm blinded by the wait.
You know? And so, you make your way downstairs. You get to the doors as they were before. Open. You see the rocks that you've wedged on the side of it and underneath it. Now, you may do as you wish. Oh.
Real quick, I want to toss out a clarification. Because he is the one I am most worried about. With Inspiring Leader, I can choose 6 creatures. There's, of course, 5 of us. I'm getting all of those. I want to give the other slot to Kobos, just in case something really bad happens.
Alright. Kobos has how much?
9 temp HP.
9 temp HP. That is good. It's always good to have more.
What's his natural HP anyway?
We don't need to know that.
Alright. Lila, I'm assuming you have your prism out.
Yes.
Alright, you come back into this area and it is as you left. Not as if you could tell either way. With the darkness encroaching ever so closer.
Here's the part where we gotta figure out what to do, because fire equals fight. That we probably don't need.
Well, this is. Did we already enter through the doorway? We're already in, yeah.
You're right at the doorway, yeah.
Real quick question: is this side of the table invisible for anybody else?
No.
What do you mean this side of the table? Oh.
Like where the
This?
spider is sitting?
Oh yeah.
No.
What the fuck?
What?
Yes.
It has
Okay,
disappeared.
just checking.
It isn't for me.
Just
It's
leave
weird.
it as is.
Wow,
It's cool.
I was.
Nothing
Pull
wrong.
glass table. Don't worry about it.
Glass table.
Nothing's wrong.
Class. Imagination, everyone. God.
Imagine it. Okay.
So, what do you wish to do?
Well,
dark-
back where we started. That's for sure.
Can the people with dark vision see further?
They cannot.
Okay. We either light a fire and have to fight our way through, or we take it slow.
Take it slow and surrounded by each other.
I think we should.
Surrounded, I mean me.
Put her in the middle. Yeah.
I think we should take approximate 5-foot intervals from each other to where we can still see each other, but increase the overall range that the entire group can see.
Well, if
Forward. I'm
if
gonna grab you by the
Lila's
shoulder.
holding-
Maybe let me go first. Notebook.
Well, yeah. I'm planning on being over here to the side.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll be on the other side of Darian. That way I can.
Something like this.
So I guess something.
Along those lines, yeah. A little bit closer. We'll be fine.
If we move an additional
Thank you
5
for the
feet from
feedback.
each other, put like one full square between us, would we still be able to see each other?
Yes.
So, like, if I moved here,
There you go.
like, just kind of. Would that still have us in sight? No.
There's circles around us now to show
yeah.
you how much we could see.
So, no. Okay. That's about as good as we can
You
do.
need to be at least within with 5 feet 5 feet square close to each other.
It really fucks with me the way the
Well,
This thing?
circle kind of indents around Darian and Patui.
Yeah, it indents around everyone because there are objects and it's yeah.
Wait, what did you just say to me?
All right.
Oh god, when I rotated it wiggles.
Fucking children playing around. All right.
Alright. We're walking.
Move on.
We're walking as a group.
Yeah, can we just like highlight all of us and stuff like
Uh,
that?
Together.
I will
Yes.
highlight all of us.
All right, Mott's, you do the thing.
We're walking slowly and carefully.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to keep moving us in 5-foot intervals in case you tell me to stop.
Going
Just
around
move until
the-
you think you see something, because it's unhighlighting as you go.
Don't push that.
Let me take away the visual.
Damn it. Oh lord, that's something.
There's a thing, but I can't see that. Well, yeah, we can, because the light from the prism.
Yes. What you see in front of you is on the ground, interrupting this tide pattern of stone that you've been walking on. There is a bright yellow pattern with what seems to be a white star-like pattern inside of it.
Is it like on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was valid to keep
I
walking.
know, right?
Oh, that's something. I can kind of see some.
You see the edge of what seems to be two different pillars at your side. Let me...
Okay, so he'll be standing on a pillar. That's okay. We can't do that. Got it.
Yeah, can't do that. So,
And is this part here like part of the ground still?
yes, this is all. There's a little bit of a step upwards, but it's barely anything.
Up we go.
All right, now stopping in front of this, what you see is, let me pull up the.
Is it a brazier?
1 second.
Looks like a big.
All right. It seems to be about 6.5 feet tall. It just reaches the edges of the light of this prism. It seems to have a circular rail of brass on top, on the top outskirts that resembles a helm of a ship, and being on a raised stone pedestal with small engravings, of which you do not recognize the language of, in its middle section that surrounds it, and that surrounds it in its entirety, and comes to a tip of a bronze metal encasing with section gaps around it. And you do see, actually, make me a investigation or perception check.
All of us?
Yeah, anyone that wants to.
Oh my god, it's so creepy looking at this right now. Oh man. Wait, whoa, almost did that. Don't do that.
Darren, can you roll for me? I saw that.
See you guys.
15.
19, not
investigation.
bad,
Oh,
not bad.
Oh my god, not bad. Not bad.
Alright.
What was it, insight or perception?
Perception or investigation. Either or.
Okay. So I'm gonna use perception. So I guess I get +2, so it's 22. And
22.
then
Alright. What is your
And
modifier?
what's your
Yeah. Investigation
I
or
rolled
modifier?
perception?
2. I rolled in that 20.
Perception. I'm gonna do perception. So I have 19, right? So
What?
Yeah.
We can do both?
I have 24.
And Zad?
15 investigation.
Alright. Well, Kulu, Mots, Darian, Lila, Vile receives the first crit. Most of you, notice that upon further investigation, that the stone itself of which the pedestal is constituted of is in immaculate condition. There are no cracks, unwanted dips, dents, or any sign of being in contact with the elements. Inspecting the floor around this large stone pedestal, you notice a thin layer of what at first you think to be dust, and soon come to realize it to be ash, of which further inspecting the top of said pedestal, you gather where the source of the ashes are, seeing the slight burn marks along the edges in the section gaps of the bronze head on this, now discovered to be a brazier. You would notice that closer, trying to inspect it, touching upon the dust and then slightly closer to the pedestal, you would notice that the closer your hands are to the pedestal, there is an indentation in the stone, conforming to the movement of your hands. Almost as if you seem to be able to shift the stone to conform to you. The closer you get to it, and you step back slightly, but only in very specific places, seems to be.
Okay, so we've confirmed this is a fire pit, to put it basically.
Jay, do you like the picture I sent in text?
Oh my fucking god, what did you...
These are from my notes last session. This is just how I am.
Let's go!
I don't know why I'm like this.
I love it, it's great. Oh, fuck. Alright, yes, essentially a large brazier or fire pit, as you put it.
Okay. Can I ask everyone to step back? As far as y'all please.
Before we try anything, maybe let's explore the rest of the room. Just
Well-
in case there's something crucial we're missing.
Something I noticed during the fight is those monsters were more interested in the flame than they were actually us. So I'm thinking if y'all step back and I step back, we can light this thing, and either the monsters will be more worried about it and I can snap it right back out of existence, and we get light, at least for that moment, and see the whole room.
Okay. Then back.
The only reason I think it's a good idea is because I can snap it unlit again. I just have to be within 10 feet of it. And prestidigitation.
Alright, make me an Arcana check.
Alrighty. Something I'm legitimately good at. Let's see what happens.
You successfully light the brazier of exploding.
The
14.
good old braziers of exploding. As you attempt to light the flames with prestidigitation, you can see from where you are a slight spark light up above where the brazier itself is. And that spark shines bright and then dies. And then you see upon the stone of the pedestal that this brazier is set upon large handprints. Well, large handprints that seem to be burning with yellow light. You see it in front of you. You see it to the sides. And you assume as well onto the other side of the brazier.
About how many sets of handprints would that account for?
Make me a perception check.
Like 33? I mean, I don't know. That seems like a lot.
Are you going to be getting closer and looking at it?
Yes. Oof. That's a 9 perception.
Yeah, I thought you were going
Killing
to
it.
do it from a distance, so it isn't as difficult if you're going close and inspecting it. You do see that there are 5.
That's how many of us there are.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh my
Appreciate
God.
your
Just like this.
enthusiasm.
Well, Zad is going to obviously relay that information. Let's not make this meaningful.
You do notice that 2 of them are right next to each other. There's one on each side. I'm gonna pull you away. There's one on this side, one on this side, one on this side, and there's 2 on this side.
I wonder which 2 that's for. The point is to figure that out, I guess.
Going through it,
Are the sizes the same?
they vary slightly.
Is one of them particularly feminine?
As it didn't give you enough time to inspect them too closely,
I'm
plus your
just- like,
perception
I'm just
check
fucking
sucks.
with you.
No, I'm talking about the varying sizes. They do seem to vary, but other than that, there isn't much that you can take from it.
Can I roll an investigation check now? With that said,
You already did.
oh, I'm saying
Before.
specifically on the
On the hand-
inspecting them compared to inspecting the handprints, the knowledge of how many of them there are.
The handprints are
fact
no
that there's
longer
5
there.
of us. Oh, they're gone again.
Oh.
No.
I look up and I point and I snap and press to digitate in the coals again because I've made them appear before. And y'all see me just doing this without saying a word. Y'all come look at this too.
Slight spark show. As the light, almost as if the flame itself that he's trying to lit, just fighting to keep, to stay up. But it continues to be absolutely snuffed out instantly by whatever magic is opposing his prestidigitation.
So, did they make the handprints appear again?
It did.
And with that knowledge, I would like to do an investigation check, specifically paying attention to the handprints appearing, the amount there being, and putting clues together.
All right. Can real quick everyone blindfold themselves, like for a second.
B.
I just know that one. I don't know about the other one. Because Johnny's
Also,
here,
just gonna go to the
so
bathroom real quick. I'll be
I
right
don't know
back.
what he brought.
All right. And this will allow me to also use my new hiding screen, hiding stuff on screen. Let me do this very fast.
All right.
We're good, we're good. Don't worry about it. We're back. There you go. You can unblindfold yourselves. Alright, you want to roll an investigation check? Already have?
Yes.
Roll it for me.
All right. Is everybody helping me at this point? I'm asking.
I'd assume everyone would be looking through.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, advantage, correct?
Yeah, you get advantage, and let's say Val is helping you, so Oh,
That's a darn good advantage.
Nice. All right.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very good. The rest of you?
Oh, I thought we were just giving him
Oh.
advantage for every roll.
No, just Vile is giving him advantage.
Now we don't have to roll for Vile.
We still have to roll for Patui.
Oh, that's a
Let's
natural
go.
20.
I don't know. Darian's
19,
rolling
what
pretty
the
good right now.
fuck?
I kind of want him to roll for me, you know.
Maybe we just.
I'll roll for Patui. It's fine.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, roll for Tui. Let's see what he gets.
Jesus
I
Christ.
want to see this.
Oh, he's dumb. Don't worry
it's a
about it.
He got a 5 total.
Yeah, but how did he roll?
He stood. No, that was he rolled a 4 and got a +1.
All right. So,
Tui just stood in the back.
You all start moving around the brazier.
Are any of the hands purple?
So, you all seem to fall into place as you're all noticing as he keeps lighting them up. Now you get closer and closer. You see the handprints as each one of you get close to the pedestal, and Tui goes straight by, and Lila notices that he went by as the pedestal itself started to dent when he get close, and just tugged on him real quick.
Grab him by the wrist.
He's still just saying.
And you see in each one of these positions there is a handprint for each one of you. Lila and Patui, you notice there is only one set of handprints for yours, but they're both they're opposites.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, one's a left, one's a right.
All right. I wanted to see something because you said that like the stone kind of like reacts to
Yes.
like the approaching hand. Does it like as we if I start like moving my hand towards it, does it like
the stone
Is it
itself is
around
immaculate.
the would-be handprint, or is it the handprint that like morphs inward, or just
it
neither?
morphs. The handprint morphs inward, and it's always in the exact same place. But as you get closer to it with your hand, it starts to dent inwards.
So, like the Total Recall handprint.
I have not.
Oh my lord!
I do not know that reference.
I
But,
showed my age. I'm sorry.
As you all get in place, you also do see the writings, the engravings around the pedestal starts to become more clear, slightly lighting up in yellow. But it's still in language that you do not understand.
I guess that is a point that we should approach.
It takes 10 minutes.
Or a spell slot.
Nah, I'd rather take the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Plus,
me
I
too.
don't prepare it specifically for the reason that I can take the 10 minutes.
Imagine needing to prepare a spell.
All right. So you're taking the 10 minutes?
Imagine not having 10 plus spells.
Well, while he's preparing the spell, I'm going to look around the ground for any loose stones.
All right. Give me a perception check. It's quite difficult to see in here.
Is that just like, Lila, you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm like already sitting down preparing the ritual.
Ritual casting and shit while we're talking.
The floor seems to be immaculate around this pedestal, and you can't actually find a loose rock. You spent a bunch of time looking for rocks around the ground, and Lala and Zed both cast their spell at the same time, having to place their hand, but you place your hand outside of the handprint onto the
Yes.
pedestal to be able to read it.
Oh, I gotta
You
get my pen
both
ready.
read different parts of it as you're on opposite sides.
Well,
Okay.
if it scrolls around.
There is two different
Oh, interesting.
bits of text. It's not all one thing.
Okay. But I would notice that there's more than just what I'm staring at.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, Zed,
Just
what you see upon your side seems to be as far as you can see. At first, when you read it, it doesn't seem to sound right. All of the words don't seem to fall into place as they probably should. And then all at once, understanding comes into your head, as if they're flooding your mind with a dark but coherent flow of words. And it says, the raft she made, in the shadows he'll share. Know that he is the one who's there. The path you make, the abyss he has left. He travels through shade of flame until death.
I'm gonna need that in
Yeah.
typed out form.
I got you. Copied.
I made it so far, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
I'll read it
Said
one
I
more
need that in
time.
writing.
The raft she made, in the shadows he'll share. Know that he's the one who's there. The path you make, the abyss he has left. He travels through the shade of flame until death.
Got it.
And Lila.
Hold on, I'm still writing.
Fine. Copying and pasting.
Okay.
Reading this part, it seems to be a piece of something larger. You're unsure as to how, but the words, they indicate that there is more.
Mm-hmm.
As this one says, then, set from her duty, we sought our own life, that of which was needed, that which brought us peace. And that is that. Alright, once again. Then, that from her duty, we sought our own life, that of which was needed, that which brought us peace. Give me a Arcana check.
I will as soon as I finish writing.
Yep.
Multiple people type.
Take your time.
Where am I? Over here.
Me too, right? Or am I stupid?
Ooh.
Just for Lila. Oop.
Okay.
Shit. Alright, 24. You see that the word set, then set
It's
from her duty.
capitalized, I noticed.
There's something off about it at first, and then the whole text starts to shift. You see other words as well seem to want to shift, but there's something missing. But this one, you see burdened. Then, burdened from her duty, we sought our own life, that of which was needed, that which brought us peace. Zed. A bit on the side, closer to the front where Vile is, you see a little bit of large text that says, "The brazier of light, the way will show. Accept this challenge, and enlightenment will come your way."
The brazier of light, the way will show. Is that what I heard?
Yes. Accept this challenge.
Enlightenment will come.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you conveying the messages to the rest?
Yes.
As soon as
Probably
you
coming around
finish,
to Zad's side to see his own as well.
as soon as you finish conveying the bit of the poem that you read, Zed, you see at the base of the pedestal, shadow starts to attempt to force itself out into your vision. Just slight bubbling up, and then it fades.
Can't touch this, dude. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would let people know we're getting some activity.
What do you all wish to do?
Alright.
I would like to continue looking around the pedestal for more.
Yeah, like I said, I want to just examine Zad's side.
Yeah, examining around, these were, you see the part that you read, Lala, repeated in one more occasion, but that is about it. It's on Darian's side.
Yeah, Darian's side.
Wait, what's on my side? Which words?
Words we're finding out.
Yeah, repeated
Okay.
version of what she read.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was excited for a second. I was like, more? Heck yeah. Alright.
So, we've already established that, assuming that the puzzles are connected in some way, the wrath is the fire.
Seems so.
And Malted, you said that Dad shared about the shadow creeping up into his vision.
Yes.
Yes. That's
Do
the.
you think the would-be shared shadows means it's going to blind us?
Well, you've got the shadows he'll share. Know that he is the one who is there.
I feel like we're missing something. I feel like we need to keep
Matthew,
exploring the room, but at the
It's-
same time, lighting the brazier would do that for us.
Hmm. I feel like we need to light this thing. He travels through the shade of flame until death. Well, if we light up the whole room, I don't know if we have enough wood with us to actually just light this thing.
Yay.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a check I can make to determine like intention.
You want to insight check the brazier?
Almost, mostly because it's so
Mhm.
basically like 20 years ago during our initial sit down.
Yes.
You went over some of the intricacies of your world, especially the way magic is different.
Yes.
And you've been awfully careful with wording, and I don't quite like the mention of the shade of the flame because you mentioned that that's basically what necromagic is, and I am concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, yeah, I guess you could say I want to fucking insight check the brazier.
Give me another. You already rolled an Arcana check. That's for a different reason, but give me another Arcana check with advantage due to your previous roll.
Alright.
Insight check the brazier.
Oh, we're counting down. 17 more rolls, I'll roll a 1.
At an 18 plus 5? Yeah. Looking onto the brazier, you spend some time to connect with it in a strange way. Almost as if the performance outside seemed to have strengthened your insight towards this kind of magic, which is unknown to all of you in many ways. Where it doesn't seem to only be what you're used to, as in the different schools of magic. There's something there that is slightly unknown. With what you know of the way that necromagic works, or necromancy, you do sense a lot of that around. A lot of necrotic energy in the area. Whether you will take that as a good or a bad thing, that is up to your character, or, well, up to you. But the brazier itself does not seem to be a part of that necrotic energy that is around you. Not fully, at least. What do you wish to do?
I think I'm just going to... I'm basically entering, like, stream of consciousness mode. I'll just say... This room is permeated with necrotic energies. The wording on the brazier calls to mind images of necromagic.
The wording on the. Go ahead.
Just mentions of the shade cast by flame. Mentions of death. But also the mentions of the abyss. And the one he is the one who is there. It makes me almost feel as if this entire darkness is just one entity.
I completely agree with that. And it seems to go on to also say that the brazier of light, the way will show.
Right.
It also seems to say that we're pretty much not moving on without fighting this thing in some capacity anyway.
But
As you say, the brazier of light, all of the handprints light again.
It's a trial, and no trial comes without, well, trial. It can't be that simple. I'm still not convinced it's not going to blind us.
I think we're mostly already blind.
I mean, yeah, what's it need to blind us? We're already very short on sight.
Don't know. Sounds like a good time to consult the old parts of Riddle. Hell, they might have been just unique to that room.
And then, are we
I
doing
mean,
it or not?
we've only got so many choices.
But I know. Yeah, our choices are do it or leave. I'm not opposed to doing it. I just think that whatever happens, we need to be ready.
Do we all think we are?
By this point, you would have not noticed the fact that it's always there. the slight magical glint. Well, sure, word of continue. Oh, you're right.
I think we might just have to think the rest of it through as we understand what the trial is. I don't think we'll know what the trial is until we light the brazier.
Yeah, it's
We can have ideas, but
there's no way to know without actually
correct.
either doing a long and arduous search of this room in the darkness.
I say do it.
Count of three,
All for getting out of this
everybody.
darkness.
Count of three, everybody. Put your hands on the handprints. 1, 2, 3. Zad, put
As
his
he does
hands
that,
on
I will glare at him, but I'll still do it.
it.
Is everyone putting their hands in the...
I hesitate and then I'll do it.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, thanks, Squig.
Why
did
does
that
Squeak
voice? 'Cause
sound so
Fallon-
much more like Mickey Mouse every time? Uh-huh.
So,
Mickey Mouse, motherfucker. All right.
as soon as you all put your hands onto it, you see
I
the
close my
light
eyes.
starts to slowly burn from the bottom of the pedestal, lighting up brighter and brighter, reaching onto the top, and you see the light shine through the small separated gaps in between the bronze tip of this pedestal, and light shine through as you see all around you be lit up, and the flames at the walls, different torches, as this light shines bright and bright, and you look upon each other and you look behind each other. She shades different, casted upon the backs, created from your very own shadows, images of yourselves, twisted, slightly translucent. The only one that is stepping out of the flames, stepping out of the shadows, is Viles, who has his own bright shine at his back. They look at you with intent, bright yellow light piercing through their eyes. You feel penetrated by their gaze at your very core, within your soul. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. We'll pick right from there tomorrow. Well, tomorrow. Next session. Great if it was tomorrow. Oof.
I was ready.
But that,
It's time. Oh,
you have now accepted the trial of the prism. This, everyone, is where your tutorial ends. I will no longer be holding back. I will no longer be trying to make sure that you understand how the game works. I expect you to know your abilities. And good luck.
well, I already know what my first action is.
For now, this will have to do. And I hope you all enjoyed tonight's session and the new additions. Next time, we'll commence the trial of the prism, wherever that may take us.
Was fun.
That was fun.
And we're going to use this new initiative tracker as well, which will be fun. We'll try that out later. As for now, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you all enjoyed this relatively shorter session. Or try to, at least. And I'm going to finish up stream here, and I'll be right back with you all.
Bye, stream.
everybody!
Bye, everybody.
So, stream, chat, hello people. Anyone that stayed around, stuck around and just watched to see what the fuck would happen. I appreciate you all for staying. Also, I'm recording, so for YouTube, and anyone in chat that wishes to join the Discord. Oh, also, no, that's not my Discord. That is all of my other stuff, along with Discord. But yeah, this is my Discord. That is where I announce when the sessions are going to start, and if there's going to be a session on that weekend. We usually do those at this time and this day. Well, actually, we went a little bit late today because it's New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody. We do sessions every Saturday, 7:30 a.m. GMT +1. And if you do not have the mind or, the capability to remember that, like I usually don't have, otherwise I'm obligated to tell other people, you can join the Discord and I'll let you all know when there's a session. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed what they watched, and I hope you all have a very good next year, 2022. It's going to be great. Oh yeah, new ending screen. It's fantastic. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll see you all further in this pilgrimage. Bye.